Dangote, Nigeria's billionaire, has struck again. He has now submitted a petition to the ICPC against NMPDRA boss. Tonight, President Bola Tinubu, we understand, may present the 2026 budget to the joint session of the National Assembly sometimes this week. Hello everyone, welcome to the program. This is Politics Today, live on Channels Television. I am Shomwa Kimale right here in Abuja. Let's tell you about what we know with respect to the 2026 budget. The President, Bola Tinubu, may be presenting the 2026 budget sometimes this week. The Senate President, while reading the report and on the passage of the 2026-2028 medium-term expenditure framework and the fiscal strategy paper, said there are indications that President Bola Tinubu is expected to present the 2026 appropriation bill of 54.4 trillion naira this week. The Senate today passed the 2026-2028 medium-term expenditure framework and fiscal strategy paper after a report submitted by members of the Appropriation and the Finance Committee of the Senate. The medium-term expenditure framework is said to be a prerequisite for the presentation of the budget, and there have been the details of the deliberations as to the final presentation of the 2026 appropriation bill have been scrutinized and finalized, and the President is now expected to present the bill before the National Assembly later this week. There's much in the offing for you tonight on this program. A lot of exclusives that we might be giving you tonight on the program. Stick with me, everyone, because after serving you your political roundup stories, we'll dig deeper into these issues. We'll be right back.
The National Human Rights Commission says it recorded a total of 422,942 cases of human rights violations across Nigeria in the month of November 2025. The Executive Director of the Commission, Mr. Anthony Ojukwu, disclosed this during the presentation of the 2025 edition of the Human Rights Situation Dashboard and Observatory. Mr. Ojukwu says the Commission also recorded the highest case of school abductions since the Chibok incident in November, citing prevalence in the rising cases of violence against children and freedom of religion. Meanwhile, the Nigerian Police Force says enforcement of the tinted glass permit policy will resume on January 2, 2026. Force spokesman Benjamin Udenyi announced this in a statement, citing a surge in vehicle-related crimes. Udenyi said the decision follows a careful review of emerging security concerns and the need to ensure the safety of all citizens. Meanwhile, the Nigerian Bar Association NBA is urging President Bola Tinubu to call the Inspector General of Police, Kaude Egbetokun, to order describing the planned resumption of enforcement of the suspended tinted glass permit policy from January 2, 2026 as an affront to the authority of the court. In a statement signed by its president, Alpha Musigwe, the NBA warned that issues surrounding the legality of the policy are currently a subject of litigation before the Federal High Court in Abuja, for which hearing had been concluded and judgment reserved. It maintained that the IGP has a constitutional obligation to respect the judicial process and refrain from any action capable of preempting or undermining the court's decision. The governor of Edo State, Mondo Kweholo, has presented a 939,850,000 2026 appropriation bill before the Edo State House of Assembly. According to Governor Kweholo, the 2026 budget of hope and growth designed to build on the foundation laid in 2025 has a capital expenditure of 637 billion naira, representing 68%, and a recurrent expenditure of 302 billion, representing 32%. He maintained that Edo State will continue to prioritize capital projects such as roads, schools, hospitals, water, housing, and economic projects, real and tangible development. The Accord Party has presented a certificate of return to its candidate for the June 2026 Ekiti State governorship election, Okpeyemi Falegan. The party's national chairman, Mr. Marshall Ogundem, made the presentation on Tuesday at the Accord Party headquarters in Abuja. Falegan emerged as the party's flag bearer following the conduct of its governorship governorship primary on November 8, 2025. Speaking during the presentation, Mbudem congratulated Faligan on his victory at the primaries, describing it as a testament to his resilience, resourcefulness, integrity, and political sagacity. Lastly, barely 1 week after Governor Ademola Adeleke emerged as the governorship candidate of our core party in Osun State, Mr. Clement Bamigbola has emerged as the governorship candidate of the same party in the primaries conducted by the Olufemi Ogundare-led election committee. Bamigbola emerged through a consensus of the party's primary election, which was attended by over 100 delegates. Chairman of the Electoral Committee, Olufemi Ogundare, who conducted the exercise, said the primary was held in line with the directive of the national leadership of the party. Addressing the delegates, Clement Bamigbola thanked them for their support and assured them of victory at the polls.
Thank you so much, everyone, for staying with us. First, let's give you an update of what has been happening maybe over a year now between Dangote, Aliko Dangote, the Nigerian businessman, and the chairman of the refinery and the Dangote group, who has come out in what has become as a confrontational approach into the activities of the NNPPRA boss and the MD. Today, there is a new twist to that saga. The chairman of the Dangote group, Aliko Dangote, submitted a petition against the managing director of the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, the NMDPRA, Ahmed Farouk, to the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, ICPC, accusing him of corruption and financial impropriety. In the petition submitted through his lawyer, Mr. Dangote demanded the arrest, investigation, and prosecution of Mr. Ahmed for allegedly living above his means as a public servant. Let me allow you to listen to how Mr. Dangote yesterday laid the allegations and leveled against the allegations against Mr. Ahmed Farouk. Take a listen to him.
Malam Farouk has 4 of his children that he educated in Switzerland at the cost of $5 million for their secondary school education alone, not university. And I know that one of them just finished Harvard. So I want to now see what kind of system are we operating that, people are now busy destroying a country, taking money from the government. Because when you look at his income does not match paying this kind of fees. I think even if it's me paying $5 million for 6 years for my 4 children, the taxman has to look at my taxes, how much I pay. And really, this sort of thing, we're not going to allow it to continue. We'll take it up to the highest authority so that they will look at it. People who have done something wrong must be prosecuted.
Now, all that on one hand, we'll be getting some perspectives to it because this goes a long way in affecting what is going on. There are a lot of things that you may not even see on the surface, but this is what you can see and read on the headlines. But let me take you to faraway Delta State, away from Lagos, where Mr. Dangote made this allegation. But tension is rising, and perhaps for the first time in so many years that we are seeing tension in the Niger Delta region, which is now affecting oil production. In the Niger Delta, indigenes of Uborodo community in Warri, southwest local Ghana area, have shut down the Chevron Nigeria Limited tank farm facility in protest over what they describe as long-standing neglect by the oil company. The community accused Chevron of excluding qualified indigenes from employment opportunities, failing to meet agreed local content quotas, and sidelining the host community in ongoing and upcoming operations, including turnaround maintenance activities. Residents also lament persistent power outages, blaming the failure of the Escravos Environs electrification project involving NGIC and the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, a project they say has stalled for years. As operations at the facility remain disrupted, questions are being raised about how host community relations, local content compliance, and the broader implications for oil production and stability in the Niger Delta. We reached out to the federal government on this matter, and we got a confirmation that the federal government has since begun conversation and engagement with the aggrieved host communities with the hope of dousing the tension and restoring a possible disruption to production in that area. Let me allow you to listen to one of the agitators leading the protest in that community.
We are saying that enough is enough. If they have been doing, if the PIA has been in place, maybe you people will ask us questions that PIA is supposed to take care of that. But the PIA is not in place. And now they are even contravening the local content law that is in this nation that guarantees us some certain percentage of employment, empowerment from these IOCs. So we are saying that this has to stop. And until they come to us and discuss with us, let us tell them the way we have been telling them and tell them now that presently is business unusual. We are not going to...
All right, that's agitation there. Well, let me bring in one man who is he's an expert in these areas and he's very knowledgeable. He's the former president of the Trade Union Congress and expert in oil and gas and energy. He's joining us live virtually from Lagos. Mr. Peter Esele, it's good to see you. Thank you so much indeed for joining us tonight on the program. So much to chew just in a few minutes that we have. But let me allow you first and foremost to deal with the Dangote, which is the big headlines making the rounds today. Mr. Esele, what exactly is going on in this big drama that we're seeing between Nigeria's billionaire and the richest man in Africa and the NMDPRA boss, Ahmed Farouk?
Thank you for having me. So when you see the richest man in Africa becoming an activist, then you know that something is definitely wrong. The first thing you need to look at is that Dangote's refinery or Alhaji Dangote feel threatened that his business model or his refinery is being attacked by NMDPRO with the way licenses are being issued. Now, what we need to ask ourselves is, the Dangote refinery, why is it here? I think the Dangote refinery has a very big role to play in the economy and also in that sector. Now, Dangote has made series of allegations against NMDPRO. Now, what Dangote is against is why issue multiple licenses, and then when you have a refinery in-house, and why don't you strengthen or allow me to run? So what I've seen here is that Dangote refinery is being threatened, and Dangote feels that his business is being undermined by the regulators. That's on one hand. And then on the second hand, Dangote making allegations against the MD of NMDPROA. I think that allegation is something we all need to look at. And I think that's something we should work on. Public officers should be held accountable. We should know how they live their life. We should know their source of livelihood. And once you are a public officer, that invariably means that you have to live within certain parameters, certain means of livelihood. Your earnings should be made public. So on one hand, that will strengthen the system, that will make public officers to be more accountable. So for that, Dangote versus Farouk, I don't see that as something that we should be worried about. It's something that we expect our security agencies and those who are ICPC or whoever to go look at Dangote's allegation and see if it's a fact. And then we'll look at it that, okay, where is he generating his money from? And then when I also saw Dangote talking on TV, the first thing that came to my mind, I said, you see why Dangote actually need Pengassan? Because what he's doing now is what a Pengassan chairman or a Pengassan president who know that for his members to have their jobs, he have to also defend the company. So the symbiotic relationship between a company survivor and the union's earning capacity are all aligned. So Dangote wouldn't have been doing this, but for you to see Dangote do this himself, you will know that there is fire on the mountain. Pardon the cliche.
Now, give me an understanding. You are the man who understands the politics, the technicalities, the on-the-ground politicking that is going on within the oil and gas sector. Bet me, there's more politics being played in the oil and gas sector than is being played in mainstream politics. But beyond that, you say that Dangote may see the NMDPRA boss as a threat in his operations. Does it look like Dangote is not sufficiently supported? Like we will see the U.S. government support Elon Musk or we'll see that the billionaires in the Chinese market being supported, or the UK billionaires being supported in their businesses in the UK. Does it look like Dangote is being seen as a stepchild? Sorry to use that word. I mean, a child who lives in the backyard, or someone who is not sufficiently supported by his own government?
Yes, I don't think Dangote gets the kind of support that his peers, maybe in Europe or America, in China or India, will get. And I also think that what Dangote can also go ahead is to build what I call various alliances to survive in this environment. You just said something, the politics in the oil and gas, huge politics. Now, let's take, for example, over 40 licenses were issued to build refineries. And I can tell you, outside of BOA is the only refineries that we are expecting. When I say refineries, I mean huge refineries. BOA is the next one we are expecting. The modular refinery that we have, there are very few. So in terms of investment in that sector, you are going to find out that Dangote, probably BOA, and some other, I think there's one in Edo State, and some other minor refineries that you have. So why are all those who have the licenses not building refineries? It's cheaper for you to just bring in product. So if you bring in product and you know you want to sell, you go ahead and you do what you have to do. Dangote has gone through a lot. I may not agree totally with everything he does, but you must also commend him for one thing, of keeping his eyes on the ball and being able to set up these refineries despite all the odds. Now, if you now give 40 licenses out and nobody is investing in that sector, I think it behoves Nigerian government or the regulators to support Dangote to the end. Now, you just noticed that Dangote came up. We are supposed to be paying at about 740 naira per litre of petrol, based on the current prices. But right now, we are still not paying that yet, because I read independent marketers are saying probably in the next 1 week. Why is Dangote reducing his prices? If I'm to do all the calculations, I don't think we should be paying what we are paying right now. What we are going to be paying for petrol is the cheapest, if not in the world right now. But why is Dangote doing that? Because he needs to survive, one. The license, those who have been licensed, who just brought in product to the country. And this is also the benefit of market demand and supply. So what we have now is glut in the market. And when you have glut in the market, and Dangote knows that this glut may undermine him, and then he also needs to chase those people out of the market. So Dangote brought down his price. So those guys may also find it difficult to make profit. So at the moment, Dangote is playing what I call the long road, long distance. Dangote is playing marathon. He's running marathon race in the sense that his refinery is going to be here for the next 50 years. So if he doesn't make any profit in the next 2-3 years, fine, he still have over 40 years to go to make his profit. Why those who are bringing in product are going to be facing Dangote again and again in the next 3 years before he stabilizes, and then he takes on the market.
Now, the pricing on the surface, a good thing for the Nigerian people. The average person will buy less as far as the eyes can see, and the products are available. Good thing is availability of product, and Dangote keep dragging the price down, and the price war keeps getting more intense. Dangote seems to be choking the necks of the competitors, because it's now very difficult to compete in that market. Now, it's sad to hear that Dangote in the moment may not be making the kind of profit that you expect him to be making. But what do you make about this price war and this pricing competition that we're seeing? Is it something that is sustainable? Or, what kind of politics dimension are you seeing from it?
First of all, as a consumer, we like it. As a consumer, you like it. You like to pay less. And then likely Dangote is not ready. If it continues the way it's going, Dangote is not going to make any profit in about 3, 4, 5 years. But as long as he's able to pay, to service the debts for that refinery, Dangote will be okay with that. Then for his other competitors, the options for them would be, okay, why don't you also go ahead and build refineries? Because Nigeria, the way it is, the energy security of the entire West Coast, West Africa, should be determined by Nigerians. And even at what we are paying right now is still much cheaper, far cheaper than what you pay in places like Benin Republic, Togo, or the entire West Africa. So they can still get product from Nigeria. So going forward is that Dangote is going to continue on this route so that he chases competitors from the market. And the reason why he's doing that, it's a businessman, and that is what you expect from whether in the US.
Mr. Estelle, if you were the Minister of Petrol, which is the president, if you were him, the way a manner Dangote has raised these NMDPRA matter, and he's taking it upon himself to be the activist, the petitioner, and the man that is personally interested in the man's case, what would you be doing? What kind of action would you take?
If I'm the president of Nigeria, first thing I do is to ask security agencies to investigate. And if this investigation is going on, and it's also found out that a civil servant is paying $5 million as school fees for his children, I think that is something we should not encourage. And let me tell you, Jean, one of the things that is going to happen next year, we have a tax law that is coming up next year. And the first thing Nigerians are going to look at, you will not take 25% of my earning, and then at the end of the day, those who are holding public offices are living large. It's not going to happen. If it does happen next year, you are going to have people marching on the streets. Because the easiest way to make people turn against their government is to touch their pocket. Oh, yes, you can divide the people along ethnic lines. You can divide them along religious lines. But when it comes to taking people's money and then you are spending it in whichever way you like, you are going to have people who will either march on the street or people are going to give it to the government. So the government must tell us that they are ready for probity, they are ready for accountability in the next dispensation. But I will advise as president, let the security agencies go into this. We have ICPC who are supposed to know all of this. And at the end of the day, come up with a recommendation. And if the man is found wanting, he should resign. And the necessary actions be carried out. And if the man is not, and he also be made public, and then Alhaji Dangote will also have to apologize to him. So this is not something we should be discussing.
Yeah.
And ordinarily, it's not something we should be discussing. Ordinarily, the man will know if in a society where values are very high, a society with very high moral values, if the man knows he's spending X amount of money for his children in Switzerland, by now he will resign. But if he also knows he's not doing so, he will come out and also issue a statement that this is not what he's doing.
I know the head at the ICPC is a thorough man. And I know that even without the president poking or interfering in the matter, even without the Attorney General of the Federation saying anything, as long as a petition, I know that there would be the thoroughness that I know that man of. There will be some thoroughness put into that job. But my final question to you will be what I see today as a big problem. When you were TUC president, it was literally the Niger Delta was on his knees as far as oil production was concerned. Every day it was a capture of the environment by agitators who feel aggrieved by the activities of the operators and the IOCs. Now, the Ugborodo community, which hosts Chevron, Escravos, and some oil tank farms, are aggrieved and saying they will not allow production to continue, except until some of the agitations and their pleas or their demands are met by the federal government, the IOCs and the operators in that sector. I mean, if this kind of thing is we've experienced, and thanks to the like of Yemi Oshibajo under Buhari, he was a man who kick-started this conversation of a peace in the Niger Delta, and we are benefiting from it. The present-day government is experiencing a boom in terms of oil production, and we are producing more than we have ever seen in the last 10, 15 years or so. What fear do you have the most about what we are seeing today in Ugborodo? The videos are there.
I think the first thing is we commend the federal government for what has happened in terms of production. Then the other aspect is that we also need to ask ourselves that PIA will now have a law, petroleum industry, a law that governs everything that happens in that sector. So if something is not being done properly, the first thing I will advise the community to do is get it to your local government chairman. Then you move from the local government to your state governor. Then when you move from your state governor, and then you move to the president. Because one thing people don't understand here is that the IOCs will pay whatever they have to pay according to the law. So if any IOCs is found wanting, then the reason why they are found wanting is because our government is not doing what they are supposed to do. I listened to the agitator from the Borogde community talking about employment. That is the responsibility of local content. The local content they are responsible to ensure that Nigerians are employed in that line. So what are those regulators doing? What are those who are in charge of that doing? So when you now have community coming out to protect this way, it's either the entire system has failed them, and that's why they're now coming out to wanting to short production. So government need to wake up to their responsibility from the local level to the state level and arrest this before things get out of hand. But while we all sleep and the system is compromised, you are going to have issues like this. That community has no other recourse than to now go ahead and want to shut down the IOCs.
Peter Esele is an energy expert and a former president of the Trade Union Congress. It's good to see you, Mr. Esele, and thank you so much for your perspectives tonight.
Thank you very much, Shehu, for having me.
I appreciate it. I mean, do you age at all, this man? This is the way I've seen you in the last 30 years. What is going on with you? You're a grandfather from what I understand. Give me the secret, and I will take it. I'll learn from it.
just relax and let life take care of it.
If you have money, it's easy.
It doesn't have to be with money.
Right.
There are people who have money and they are not happy. But we give God the credit.
Thank you so much, Peter Esele, for your intervention tonight. We'll take a break, everyone. But when we return, my next guest does not hold anything back in his approach into what he feels about the politics of this country, the Tinubu dilemma in the governance of this country, and some of the issues that are raised by opposition. Is his government delivering on what he's promised? And what are the dimensions in the economics and the security of our nation that we are experiencing? Alwan Hassan is a member of the APC. He's a Tinubu man, and he'll be speaking to us after this break. Thank you so much, everyone, for staying with us. So you saw the book launched from soldier to statesman about the legacies of the Buhari government. And yesterday on the program, there are a lot of conversations about how the state of affairs is going under the Tinubu administration. Let's get some insight from a member of the APC, a Tinubu's man, Alwan Hassan, who is also a major player in the Kano politics. Thanks so much, Alwan. It's good to see you again.
Thank you for having me.
What is going on in your party? It does look like a lot of the Buhari's men are under scrutiny and they are in trouble. Malami is there, Ngige is there. Does it look like the Buhari government is under scrutiny?
Did you say a lot? How many of them
are facing trial? A couple of them.
Just a few.
You think
if justice should be done, yeah. 95% of the ministers under Buhari should be in jail by now.
Why? From your own measurement?
Yes.
Where's the evidence?
There has never been a time the ministers got free hands without supervision, like Buhari's time, 8 years.
So it then means, based on that, your allusion, that's the reason why 95% should be in jail?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You heard what people are saying from yesterday, I think, on Malemi and others, that the former president, late President Muhammadu Buhari, said to them that everyone should hold his documents because there will come a day when you'll be asked to explain yourself. He has told them. Why? Because maybe he has seen what they were doing. 95% of the people that served under Buhari should be in jail today.
What are you inferring? That there was corruption in the Buhari government?
Absolutely. There was nobody in this country. Maybe if there is, I might be second or third supporter of APC and Buhari's government to date. So but I tell you that if we open the books, 95% of those people that have served and got their budget released should be in jail by now.
I mean, it might not be fair to say 95% because there are good men in this country, and there are good people.
Those good men around those years are the 5%. Yeah.
So there are few good people in the
Very few good men around.
Your inference is that Buhari's government had more corrupt people.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
What is the basis? What do you know? You are a member of the party. You are closer to some of these people.
There has never been a time when government budgets were 100% released without interference by the presidency like Buhari's time. There has never been a time when ministers got free hands to operate like Buhari's time. We knew it. Everybody, you know it, Shehu. Everybody knows that. They were given 100% of their release, that's their capital budget, and nobody was talking to them about what to do. They did what they wanted to do. They did what they felt was right for them to do.
So the book feels, that book indicated or inferred that there is actually a cabal in the Buhari government.
Everyone was his own cabal under Buhari. If you got the chance to meet Buhari and explain things to him, you become a cabal. Yeah?
So it was a free-for-all under Buhari government.
Absolutely.
The nation was at...
Absolutely. Now, nobody needs to remind you of this show.
On autopilot of...
Absolutely. People were doing what they wanted to do. If you are appointed under Buhari, your job will be abdicated to you. No supervision.
Is there any difference under this government?
Do I need to tell you?
You need to tell me.
How many ministers do you know in this government?
I mean, quite a few of them that I know.
So it's to tell you that it's not business as usual.
So this government is different from the government.
Hands-on. If you're talking about government, hold on, Bashir. Let me. If you're talking about government, a president that is hands-on on nothing else but his finance, it's Shashuaju. Everyone knows this. You've seen contractors like me shouting, saying we have not been paid. He is hands-on on finance. He's careful, he knows his priority, he has set his priorities, and there he goes.
And that's why contractors are suffering.
Absolutely.
And he's hands-on.
Yes. So because those contractors...
Is the president behind the non-payments of the contractors?
He has set his priorities, Seun.
So, and the contractors are not part of it?
I don't know if the contractors are part of that, but maybe they stepped in the wrong foot, you understand? So, but this man has a priority in his government, and he has set them, and those are the things he has gone for.
My guest yesterday, I was one of those who believe that this government, in terms of the economy, has little or no clue on how to run the affairs of this government.
I don't know what
of this country. And the fact that if you look at the realities on the ground, it's the economy, it's the security. He feels, my girls felt like this country is going in the wrong direction, and this government is not doing. There's a disservice to the nation.
So, Seun, there is always an opposition to every good you do as a government. And this is not exception. This government is no exception. If you talk about security, there has never been a time when, of course, other governments too did. So, but when there is a problem, the president is hands-on. He stay back, even with a planned trip. He stay back and make sure that things are being done well. If the people are kidnapped, he makes sure that, at least if not all, majority of those kidnapped are being brought back. And these things are clear, and everybody is seeing it.
With the feeling that things are even getting worse in security.
Why would anybody tell me it's getting worse? Were we not all around from 2011 to 2014, 2015? Why would anybody tell me that it's getting worse?
Those who saw those KB students
I have people.
Those who saw the Niger kidnap, Niger State kidnap, those who live in Kwara State, in Niger State, and in Plateau State, and those who have experienced firsthand some of these violence and some of these insecurity situations, will say that things are getting worse.
Of course, if it touches you, you say it's getting worse. So, but if we sit, you and I, and analyze the attacks back in 2013, 2012, 2013, 2014, and measure them with what is happening. In fact, think about the attacks that were happening 3 years before now, and see what is happening today. People drive to Kaduna. People drive from Abuja to Borno State in the night. I know someone in my estate that drove 3 weeks ago, 9 p.m., left Abuja to Borno by road.
With security?
Alone. It's our imam in the estate. He's from Borno State.
There are those who say the appointment, there are those who are angry with the appointment. There are those who are saying,
of course,
maybe. There are those who are not really doing their jobs. There are those who are, that is a problem, isn't it?
No, but yes, of our problems are envy.
Envy?
Yes.
Like what? What do you
Okay,
mean?
I will let you know now. And it is the problem in this country. It's the biggest problem in the northern Nigeria. Envy is the problem.
Who is being? Who are they envying?
If one of them is appointed and they are not appointed, they try to get things against him and cook all sorts of lies and put it out in air. In fact, people call for people's sack in the public offices. Why? Because, and these are people from the same party sometimes. From our own party, it's dog eat dog. Look at what happened with Matawalli. He was being directed by the president to go to Kebbi and recover those 24 pupils of that secondary school that were kidnapped. Within 3-4 days, he recovered them unharmed. They were interviewed and nobody said, none of them said they were touched or done anything bad. And even the bandits recorded them. They were brought back home with the help of the coordination of the NSA, brought back home safely. When I called him to congratulate him, I told him, get ready. You're going to be the punching bag.
Why? Why do you think it was going to be?
Everybody that is targeting the president today will be targeting either the NSA or Matawalli. That is it. It's envy, Shehu. Look at what happened in the last 4, 5, 6 days on Matawalli. I told him this.
Those who are asking him to be removed,
yes.
Those who are saying he's not the right candidate.
Yes. It has shown that he is one person that the president will send and he will deliver. So let's remove him so that we make the president porous. And now we'll have something to criticize the president and the government next year. That is it. I have never seen a situation whereby somebody was sent for a job, he delivered, and such a criticism comes up.
Well, how do you defend Matawalli's appointment? Is he doing anything?
Has he not done something? It's you I should ask. You are a journalist. Have I not sent you a lot of things that he had done from being a governor when this thing started to being a minister? Haven't I sent you? Why didn't you show it? Show.
No, I have it.
So, but why didn't you show them?
If you have what's it called, in Saudi Arabia, I guess.
He recently signed.
Yes. You sent it to me 3 days ago. So.
Yes, I sent it to you. He was in the Saudi. Do you know what people were saying while he was signing the agreement? People were saying he has dodged to see C.G. Musa appointed as minister. That was what people were saying. Meanwhile, the president has sent him out for an assignment. So it is envy, Shehu.
So most of these accusations are coming from Zamfara. You see a lot of politicians.
It's not just Zamfara. It's everywhere. It's Zamfara. It's other parts of the north. It's people that are close to him. Do you understand? It's not just Zamfara.
So Matawalli struck a deal with Saudi Arabia for Nigeria to get more equipment and partnership with Saudi Arabia.
He signed the agreement, yeah. Yeah, the president sent him to go and sign the agreement on behalf of the government, federal government of Nigeria. People were saying he has dodged being around to celebrate C.G. Musa as minister. And we know that C.G. Musa is very close to Matawalli.
But I know Matawalli was one of the 3 governors who sued the president.
Yes.
The president at the time of the federal government.
Currency, yeah.
El Rufai,
yes.
Yaya Bello,
yes.
and Matawalli. They were in the forefront of the Tinubu.
So they have gotten rid of 2. Shehu, it's just one person that is remaining.
So all of this is politics from your own point of view.
Absolutely.
What is going on in your party? Why this envy? Is Tinubu the main target? Is Tinubu the main? Does it look like some elements in the northern Nigeria don't want Tinubu in office in 2027? Is that what it's playing?
Oh, absolutely. A Yoruba man is being president and is doing very well things that a northern president has never done. Everybody cried out since 1999 or before then on subsidy. Nobody had the guts to remove it until Tinubu came. That alone spiked a lot of northern.
If you talk about national politics in Zamfara, even your own state, Kano, is not an exception.
Yeah.
I'm not sure there is any state in Nigeria where the APC is more divided than Kano.
Like Kano, yeah. Yeah.
And that's a disaster for your party.
They have like 5 different homes in Kano. Yes.
So Ganduje is not holding sway any longer?
Absolutely not. He's trying to. He's struggling to recently. But the person that should have been the leader has failed.
Who is the leader?
The person that has the highest office in Kano is Deputy Senate President Barrow. He's supposed to have become the leader. But he has messed himself. So we will not win Kano with APC.
Who exactly is stopping Kwankwaso from crossing to the APC?
Them.
Because who are the them?
The members of the APC divided into four houses. So, but if we, two things, Sheon, if we want to win Kano, and I am saying this authoritatively, I'm from Kano, if we want to win Kano, it's either we bring back Kwankwaso or we negotiate with him. We must do alliance with Kwankwaso to win the presidency, to win the votes for the president in Kano.
Does the president know this?
He should know. He's a politician, and he knows Kwankwaso.
So Kwankwaso is a major factor.
Absolutely. You can't take that away from him.
It was the less than 500,000 votes that the president got, isn't it?
I think so, about 500,000 to 600,000 votes.
Yeah, that he got, that gave him the push.
Yeah.
The Northwest vote was very instrumental in President Bola Tinubu.
If he loses, Kano had the highest votes that the president got in the state.
Yeah.
So, but then we lost Kano.
Yeah.
So, but if we're getting Kano,
the numbers are very important.
Yeah. So, but if we're getting Kano, if we want Kano, we're going to get nothing less than 300 million votes. We must do alliance with Kwankwaso.
Give me a moment. I need to go another break. But when we come back, the fear and the threat, immediate one and the imminent ones, on Bola Tinubu's possible re-election in 2027. In fact, there are those in the opposition who believe that Tinubu does not stand a chance in 2027. My guest yesterday said he didn't win the election in 2023. But the politics is intense, and governance is a major factor to push that issue. We'll be right back after this break with my guest. Thanks so much, everyone, for staying with us. Final question to Mr. Alwan Hassan, who is a member of the APC. Senator Ayinaya Barbe believes that President Bola Tinubu doesn't stand a chance in winning 2027 election, and that the performance doesn't support it, is less popular, and that he did not even win the 2023 election. We just have about 30 or 40 seconds and the internal workings. You have said to win Kano, it's going to be a very tough job.
Absolutely.
If some of these issues are not resolved. If you don't win Kano, if you don't win Kaduna, if you don't win Bauchi, if you don't win Katsina,
we can win Kaduna.
There's going to be a lot of problems.
Yeah, we can win Kaduna.
So in 30 or 40 seconds, what are the challenges that Tinubu would face in terms of governance and how to impress on Nigerians or convince Nigerians that
So the social investment program is ongoing and people are not talking about it, Shehu. I swear. In my ward alone, hundreds of people are collecting 25,000 naira every month. Sometimes they pay them 75,000 for 3 months. Nobody is talking about it. I'll send you pictures shown and videos. The Minister of Finance, Wale Edun, has been saying 15 million households being given 25,000 naira monthly. It is true. People in my ward, people have helped fill the form and submitted. Hundreds of them. Every month, 25,000 naira. This is just social investment program. Look at the Ministry of Health, what the minister just told you about a few days ago, like yesterday or day for yesterday. This government is doing a lot on education, health, and social investment program, which is key in every government.
Alwan Hassan, member of the APC, thanks so much indeed for your time.
Thank you for having me.
Sure. That's our show for today, everyone. Many thanks for watching. I'm Sean Kimale. God bless Nigeria.